Right. Hope everyone can hear me. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone's had an absolutely fantastic day so far. The plan on tonight is to continue on with the Switchwire build. We've got to finish the X-axis, which means entirely putting together the stealth burner and the X-axis carriage and all that stuff. Getting the belts done, putting the Y-axis bed on, putting the bed on, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to flip the whole thing over and get the electronics installed, but not the wiring done. I'm going to say we've got one, maybe two more streams left of this build, and then we're going to continue on with something else. But if you are in chat, do say hi. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day, like I said. And yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Right, so what do I need? I will need some instructions. So we'll do Switchwire later, but we need to do this first. We started on the heat inserts for this yesterday, but we'll finish them off now. So, got those bits, which are nearly done. I need to insert the hex nuts for them. We got these bits as well that we need to do. Alright, like that, and that part. Right. What do I need? I need some M3 heat inserts. There we go. Alright. What's everyone been up to today? I have spent most of my day taking apart a bed because the council would not take it to the dump from mine, and I only ride a motorcycle, so I can't really transport it to the dump myself. So instead of that, I decided to just cut it open and put in like 5 bin bags. So my living room is now filled with like 5 bin bags. Sweet. Who have we got in chat today? Kevin Lee, nice colors. Haven't seen black and orange before, or blue and orange before. Blue and orange, yeah. So this is kind of a tribute to my Trident build, which is also blue and orange, but my Trident doesn't exist anymore, or it does, but it's just in a cupboard somewhere. So this is me getting back into Voron again finally, other than the other Switchwire that I have, which is a Switchwire conversion, and that's in the traditional black and red color scheme for Voron. Also, welcome to the stream, dude. Haven't seen you here before. I hope you enjoy what we do here. How does the music sound? Too loud? Too soft? How's my voice? Not too annoying, I hope. It's good. Sweet. Alright. Cheers, bud. How you doing? How's your day been? What have you been up to? Excuse me. Assembling casa. Nice. Nice. Are you doing it as per the new update to it? Are you doing any of the lights and things? Or are you still using the old parts? The old parts are still fine. You can still build casa with it. You just need to be a bit more careful with certain things. And these go in from the back, don't they? Oh, great. Right, put one in from the front. Hopefully that lasts, and I'll put one in from the back. I have had issues with this part on previous Vorons. All for now, planning to update eventually. Oh, sweet. Yeah. I do have a whiteboard with it written in bold that I need to finish updating the actual parts for Casa. The actual bomb for it. Because whilst all the parts are now available, all the printed parts are now available for it, nothing else is. No bomb is. CAD is, everything else is, just missing the bomb, and it should be good. Just need 3 of these. One in there. One in there. Let's give you guys a slightly better look. What we're doing. Nice. Okay. Now we need the micro switch. I did have to print a whole load of these off because yesterday during stream I didn't know. I didn't know I'd forgotten that I hadn't printed a load of these off because it had been a month since I last did anything on this build. So I did have to print everything off. Hopefully, we do have all the parts now. I did have a look ahead in the manual just to see if we would have everything that we needed for this stream. It looks like we do, but I've been proven wrong before. Whereabouts are you in the world, dude? You in the UK or you in the US still? Still? Why did I say still? US. Nice. What time is it there? Can't be too late in the afternoon at this point. Depending on where you are, of course. 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. Nice. Are you Kevin from the Discord? You were helping out Voron earlier. Yeah, sweet. Well, cheers for supporting the community, dude. I do appreciate that kind of stuff. It does help out more than you know. Love what you guys are doing with Milo. Thanks, man. Hopefully we can keep it going. Do appreciate it when people give a bit of feedback to us. There's feedback like this. There's feedback in terms of, oh, we can improve on this, but there's also nice feedback to have from people every now and again, just going, you guys are doing a great job, keep at it. And this community is awesome at doing that as well. M3 by 16s, M3 by 40s, and M3 by 12s. Those are the M3 by 40s I'll need. Those are M3 by 8s, I don't need those. '20s, I don't need 20s. Don't need M3x30s either. Oh, I'm getting every single screw except the ones that I need. M3x16s, and then I also need M3x12s. Those are M3x12s, but they're not the right M3x12s. There we go. Any plans for what you're going to use Casa? It's not Casa for. What you're going to use Milo for? Or are you just building it because you can? Which is absolutely viable. Like, sometimes it's just cool to make cool shit. Where is everyone else? We normally have more people than this on stream. I know I'm not that big, but... Hey Kevin, go wake everyone else up. Want to learn more about machining, have access to a HUS and a makerspace, and wanted something of my own to practice with. Yeah, that's absolutely valid. Absolutely valid. I think Milo's good for that as well. Like, we've had a load of people come to us and say, last year at Smurf, we had companies come up to us and be like, oh, these would be great training machines for apprentices that they're still capable of doing metal work and all that kind of thing, but you can put an apprentice on it, and if something breaks, you don't have to call a technician out to get it fixed. You can just print off whatever part's broken or order whatever part's broken from Amazon or AliExpress. And bam, you're back in operation. Or a lot of the time you can just have the parts on hand. Right, so these are the belt covers, the belt clamps for the X-axis. I believe they're a bit different from the ones we have on the Core XY Vorons, because Core XY Vorons don't need to have this whole weird assembly that hangs out the back, but because it's Core XZ, it needs it. And we need the probe now. Which box would the probe be in? Fans and inlets? No. That's the Nighthawk stuff. No, not that one. That's fasteners, don't need that. Cable kit, perhaps? Yep, it's in the cable kit. Oh, gotta be careful not to get myself tangled up in my own wire. So I am planning in future to put Eddie on this thing, but for now we're going to go with the Omron sensor that the Voron guys spec. Forgot that I need to do these two together, don't I? So yeah, I am going to go Eddie eventually on this. I hope Eddie in future can support the same as beacon contact. So it's an Eddie sensor, but you can use the probe, the nozzle itself to probe the bed. but I'm not sure if there's going to be the same issue as having tap, where because the bed's not as rigid as one you'd get on a Core XY machine, the force that the nozzle has on the plate itself has issues detecting. So hopefully beacon contact you can use on it, but who knows? Who knows at this point? I feel like on my Trident I had a little covering, like a little bit of tape to help with electrical noise on this, but I don't see it in this kit. So I'm just going to assume it's not an issue. I need some M3x20s. M3x25, nope, not M3x25, M3x20. Sweet. I'm gonna stick this right here so I don't lose it. Ah, forgot to put these ones in as well. Goodness, I'm forgetting everything today. I'm having an ADHD kind of day. Alright, screw depth. Don't tighten these bolts all the way. Leave 3 to 4 millimeters of exposed thread. Cool. In that case, let me get my ruler. It doesn't need to be precise, so I don't need to get the calipers out or anything. But yeah, that's good. That's good. That's 4 mils each. And this is where the M3x20s come out. Sweet. How far along are you with Casa? Are you just starting off, or are we just finishing our build? Or are we somewhere in the middle? Guess so. Okay, these are M3x20. Correct, M3x20. Other probe types. The picture shows a PL. Oh, okay, so these need to use the M3x25 screws. So if anyone else is making a stealth burner at any time soon, and you're using an LDO kit, remember this bit uses M3x25, not M3x20. I don't know why, but I'll do as the book says. Hey, hey, looks like we've got someone else in chat today. Sorry, someone else in the watching. Why don't you make yourself known? Say hi. Don't make this a boring stream. You know it's way more fun when people get involved. Hey, Alan. Oh, I was happy lurking. How you doing, bud? I assume you're on lunch. I don't have butterfingers. You have butterfingers. Where is everyone today? See, probably someone else is streaming. That's why. Is Nero or Steve streaming right now? Cool. So we're up to a point now where the big guy gets put back on the bench. And I can stand up because my back is hurting me. Yes, I am indeed a 90-year-old man trapped in a 25-year-old's body. Alright, let's get the 1, 2, 3 blocks out so you can see everything. Relaxing after doing some yard work, bit of gardening, and then perhaps some milling. Nice. What project you got planned, or is it a secret? Is it a secret? You know what? You can trust me, right? You can definitely trust me, right? I'm a trustworthy guy sometimes. Actually, no. You know what? Never mind. I regret my decisions. Right, let's be precarious about this, shall we? Got some 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I'm just gonna lay it behind so that you guys can see what I'm actually doing. Still finishing HOI. Nice. How far along are you? Sweet. You guys should be able to see what I'm doing a bit better now. Alan, have you heard of is it Voron? Someone on stream yesterday got me in a big rabbit hole on the Voron stuff, which is it was an April Fool's prank by someone on, I think they're on the Voron team, to make a Voron Delta printer. And I took one look at it and I'm in love and I really want one. And we've just got Physek on board on the Milo stuff, and I might just have to ask them if I can steal one of their kits to build on stream, because it looks awesome. And I want one. I just love Deltas. Deltas are the coolest 3D printer variant that you can get, in my humble opinion. My not so humble opinion. And it's a 200mm bed as well. I know it's a circular bed, so it doesn't actually, it's not quite 200, not the same as you get on a square bed, but I like it. they take up, in terms of footprint, they take up a lot less footprint as well than like a Core XY printer will. I just want one. I want one so bad. 25% of the way through. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. You go in with the aluminium ones, I'm guessing. Because I got some PCBWay orders for the steel variants of them to go on my Milo once that's done. I've seen it, but not had a deep dive. I'm a Core XY guy. I saw my practical printers, Core XY all the way, right? I love them, but they don't look as cool as Deltas. Deltas just have a whole nother cool factor to them. Is there anything that says how low we need to put the probe wires yet? Probe wire comes to terminate, cut the probes. Wires about 15 cents. Don't cut them flush with the carriage frame. Okay. Doesn't make too much sense, but okay. Hey Thomas, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day, my dude. Try and keep my big ugly head out the way. Where did I put my M3x8s? I just had them. I swear, all my streams just end up with me having to look for a part that I had just put down. It's like a big scavenger hunt, isn't it? Oh, oh, oh. Jake's getting warmer. Jake's getting warmer. I found them, by the way. Still not managed to put together Casa today. Oh, there's 2 people putting Casa together in stream. Shame, dude. How far are you off finishing it? Oh. I'm reading the wrong bloody thing. I don't even need M3x8s. I need M3x12s. Ah! I'm getting so flustered today. Sweet. Right, M3x12s is what I actually needed. Other than Casa, how's your day been, bud? I bought the parts, okay. Did the blind holds and printed parts. Nice, nice. Yeah, the blind holds are the trickiest part on Casa. They're not too bad if you know how to do them, but once your drill can bind up very easily in extrusions because of the little hollow cavities on the inside of them. And if you're not careful, if you're using a hand drill, you can tweak your wrists. So just be careful when you do them. Right, it's going to be a random tangent, but I'm just going to see where the nozzle ends up when I have this bit installed, so that I can pre-adjust. Basically what I'm trying to do is, if you look over here, that needs to sit either just below, ooh, get on focus, the center needs to sit either just below, just above, or just on the same level as the nozzle of the printer. So instead of having to take all this off later on and adjust it later, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a dry fit of the Revo hot end that I have and the mount for it, just to figure out like roughly where it needs to be. So there we go. So you should be able to see now that this is not aligned with the hot end, but there we go. So that's max travel by the feel of it. So I'm going to max this out, and hopefully there's enough distance here that it will still trigger. Lovely noise. Hope to make some more progress tomorrow, but realistically next weekend. That's fair. Hey, we've all got lives to live, don't we? Unfortunately. Right. Cool. So we'll get back to finishing that off later. And then we can get back to... So the carriage is on. So they want us to install belts now, which makes sense. So let's get cracking on that. Now, luckily, it's a lot, from experience, I know that it's a lot easier to do these belts on the Switchwire than it is to do the ones on a Trident or V2.4. So I've got a huge piece of belt over here. I tend just to cut these in half on builds. I'm just trying to think if I would need so what I'll do is I'll just get both ends, stick them together, pull them all through, flake them all through until I get to the little bite at the end, and I'm just going to cut that off just to make it a lot more, it makes it a lot more manageable when you're not having to deal with the extra length of this flopping around everywhere. And that should be more than enough length for the actual threading through. Right, so these have been loosened up. They're all the way up at the top. These motor mounts. Just gonna adjust that a little bit. There we go. So it should be easy enough to thread them through. Let me get some tweezers, or do I have my long nose? Yes, I do have my long nose pliers. Needle nose pliers, not long nose. Thomas, is your Milo actually up and running though, or are you still just working on Casa first? What the? Oh, damn it. Ooh, forgot to keep tension on this. Cool. Alright, so that ends in there. I'm going to lock it off. Should I lock it off? Milo's done, but our first cut I decided to wait until I have an enclosure. Yeah, that's respectable because Milo definitely is a bit of a messy boy. And that's putting it very lightly. Perfect. Right, so this piece goes all the way down there, back up to the top. So yeah, starts off the carriage, goes through the lower idler, then goes through the tooth pulley of that, goes all the way across the top at the bottom, using both the bottom idlers on the top bearing blocks. So we're just going to pass that to the end for now. And then it goes back around. Instead of going all the way down to the motor again, it comes back through to the x-axis. I'm guessing it wraps around one of the pulleys, which is going to be this pulley. Yes. No. No, it'll be this pulley because it's the lower one. It's always if it starts off on a lower pulley, it ends on a lower pulley. I definitely cut these belts way too long, so I'm going to have loads of odd length left over, if that's okay. Still finding chips all over the floor after 6 months. 6 weeks, sorry. Yeah, that's going to happen. Trust me, even with Casa, it's still going to happen. Chips have a mind of their own. They know how to get out of every nook and cranny. Do you know what? I think this might be easier if I take this carriage brace off and then tighten it back down onto here afterwards. I hope Scope joins us today because Scope is responsible for sending me down a huge rabbit hole last night with the whole Voron stuff. Needless to say, I am a huge fan of it now. I like the idea. Like I was saying to Alan earlier, I've always liked deltas. I think they're just so cool kinematically. Right, so now that that's through there, right, I can tighten it back down to the block. And it won't move around as much. Yeah. The Voron Velta, yes. I like it, but I really can't start another project. Yeah. I can and I can't. I'm waiting on some parts for V2 to arrive. So effectively, we're in RC1 of the X and Y axis for V2. No, before anyone asks, you're not getting a sneak peek at it. And well, you just need to work on the Z-axis and the electronics. The electronics is going to be the big thing, because electronics are probably going to be the biggest change, because we want to actually try and meet industrial standards for it, or as close to industrial standards as possible. So that means having a system that can turn off fully and have the spindle stop moving within, I think it's 5 seconds of hitting the E-stop in the UK. I think that's the standard here. Whether or not we can hit that standard, we don't know. It's still going to be more than safe enough for home use. It still is, even in its current state, it's safe enough for home use. But there are other contingencies that we want to account for this time. Just going to take this curled end off. Looking forward to it, and Milo lathe to follow. No. If you guys don't know, I was part of the Simple Electronics podcast. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's stream where I talked about this, we did talk about a Millennium lathe and why it's just, at this point in time, it's not a great idea to do. I know everyone wants one. I know everyone is excited for one, but if you got the price tag and saw the performance of one versus just buying a lathe, a mini lathe, and converting that, no one would end up buying the Millennium version of it. So it just doesn't make sense for us to do, really. But there are ways to get around not having a lathe. There are other things that you can use in place of a lathe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, I would like to get hold of Physek and build one of their Voron kits on stream, because I think it's a fun machine, right? Impractical to the high hell limits of hell, but cool to the exact same degree. Oh no! I'm kind of eating my words a bit from earlier. I said this was a lot easier to do than the belting on the Core XY Vorons, but I seem to be struggling a little bit. This is why you don't say good things before stream. You don't say something's going to be easy. Why is... Oh, it's spun round, that's why. Don't know. It's not spun round. Yeah, why is it only tightening on one side of the belt? Isn't it Core XY just turned over basically? Never built a Core XZ myself. Core XZ, yes. I thought you were talking about the Delta. Yeah, Core XZ is, instead of having the X and Y axis driven by two motors, it's the Z and X, which means you get really fast Z hop, you get really fast X movement, but your Y is still limited to the kind of Cartesian speeds that you would have on something like an Ender 3 or just any of the bed flingers or like a Prussian Mark 4 or something like that. So yes, it's better than your standard bed slinger. No, it's not better than a Core XY, but I do have a fun relationship with Core XZ, with Switchwire in general, because I did a conversion back when I was basically I've always wanted to do a proper switchwire build, because at the time when I did my first conversion, it was just after I'd moved into here, after being homeless for like 3 months, and that printer got me through the 3 months of being homeless. So I decided I'll do a sentimental build for it, and I'll convert it to Core XZ to Switchwire, and I did that, and ever since then I love that build so much that I wanted to do an official Switchwire build. If you don't know what I'm doing right now, I'm just doing the Core XZ test. There's a Core XY test for the gantry, which works as well. So what you want to do is you want to move just the x-axis up and down, and if the carriage starts to move in either direction, something's wrong somewhere along the belt pathing. Something's rubbing somewhere, or something's not being passed through correctly. So that's a quick test that you can do to make sure that everything's all good. Now we get to trim these belts off. I'll make sure everything's tight first, because trimming them and then realizing that it's loose and the belt's going to come out is not fun. Ask me how I know. Have to go. Have a great time with the build. Cheers, bud. Enjoy the rest of your day. So those have been trimmed, carriage has been tightened up, just one final check. Now I should be able to tighten everything up from the 2 belt tensioners at the end, but I won't do that until I get everything flipped back over and we assemble the stealth burner, because there's no real point in doing it now. Cool. Let's flip that just like that, and that can go back on the floor because we don't need it just yet. We won't need it for a while whilst we're building the stealth burner. Yeah, we'll do this part. We'll do the whole keyback thing after the stealth burner's built, which means we need to open up the stealth burner manual. There we go. So first things first, we need some heat inserts, as usual. I hope the printer in the background is not too distracting for you guys. I'm hoping we can do the whole of the x-axis, finish off the whole of the x-axis today, finish off the y-axis, and get everything stuck into the electronics bay. So I'm planning on streaming for at least another hour or two. And then we'll probably do wiring as one more stream. We'll do the clipper install. I don't know, do you guys want to see the clipper install on screen? Do you want to hang out whilst doing it? Because it's been a while since it's been a very long time since I installed clipper on any machines. So it would probably be, and there's probably a load of stuff that's changed since then. So it might be painful to watch, but who knows? Maybe some people like watching me suffer. I didn't feel like changing my settings on Orca Slicer yesterday to Voron settings, so these are in Millennium structural settings. So this is going to be a bit heavier than usual. So 6 walls, 6 top and bottom, and 45% infill. So they're a bit hefty. The parts are a bit hefty. Below surface. The tip heater needs to sit below the surface of the printed parts. Okey-doke. So that's the 3 on the back, I'm assuming, or just those 2, just the top 2. Well, the top one and the bottom one. Cool. I'm going to do the same with the other one just in case. Shouldn't cause too many issues. I watched Nero doing software installation. Can't be that bad. Yeah, bless him, Nero. I love the man, but he can be frustrating to watch sometimes. That's fine. He's entertaining in every other way. And that's all that really matters in the end. Totally agree. Yeah. Do you know what's been really pleasant? Watching Mandek stream. I'm talking even pre-Milo. Like, Mandek's always been one of the YouTubers I loved watching. But to see how calm he is off screen is really nice to see. It's just lovely, I think. Mr. Peace. Right, he's going from the bottom. Sweet. Oh, more heat sets. I always forget. I never watched Alan Mandic a lot before, more than Steve Builds, or more of a Steve Builds audience. Yeah, Steve's pretty good. I like watching Steve. He's very much a do it by the book and do it properly kind of guy. So you know that whatever content you're watching from him, you're at the very least gonna get good content, as in good tips from him. You know that whatever tricks he's employing are tricks that you can use yourself and you'd be happy with the results. There. So that goes in there. And we need some M3 by 16s. And it'll most likely improve your CAD on the way. Yeah, he did a few improvements to Milo. He's very much I like doing things a specific way kind of guy. Not that I'm saying the improvements weren't needed for Milo. Like, I do appreciate them. I know it can come across sometimes as like I'm unappreciative, but no, he like everything he does is worthwhile and probably good to listen to in the long run. BMG. I do hope that they update the stealth burner at some stage to have one of the newer gears. You know, the big, you know what I'm talking about. The much larger diameter gears that you now see in like the pusher tool heads and all that stuff. I always get nervous doing this bit. Sweet. Mind the orientation. Yep, that works out like that. That piece. Nice, there we go. I know longer, shorter, stiffer springs will change the tension characteristics and have an impact on how well the tension mechanism works. Consider buying the original Bondtech part, as those are known to work well. If sourced from a different vendor, check it's roughly 12mm long with an outer diameter of 6mm and a wire thickness of 1mm. Cool. I'm going to assume that the one that comes with the LDO kit is proper. And I'm going to need some bearings. Now, I think I saw these in here. Feet aside. If not, they'll be in the motion box or something like that. Nope. Nope. That's the cable kit. More cable kit. It's got to be in here somewhere. Still got so many of these big T-nuts left, and I don't know what they're for. Scary. Magnets, no. No, no. There we go. Bearing foot. Fully seat the bearing into the plastic pocket. Apply even pressure to insert them. Avoid pressing on the inner ring of the bearing. I'm sorry, Voron. This is called a race. It's not called a ring. Get your terminology right. Unusable in the state that it is in. I am completely joking there. How big is this bore? Sweet. Nice. Way easier than I was expecting to do. Did LDO improve fastener packaging in batch 2 of Milo? Mine was a big mix of T-nuts and M5s. A big mix? What do you mean by big mix of T-nuts and M5s? Like they came in the same packaging, or what? M3x6 countersinks. Or full head cap screws, as the Americans would call them, apparently. All the plastic bags broke. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. I don't know. The thing is, once the batch is actually released, there's very little communication between, other than small stuff that gets fixed. LDO kind of moves on to other projects, which they have to as a company, like, don't get me wrong. So we had to let them know of things like that. If we don't know about them, odds are that LDO doesn't know about them. Thread locker, please. Okay, wants me to use some thread locker. That's closed bottle. They didn't have the nice bags like in the printer kits. Do they have nice bags in the printer kits? Like these plastic baggies, or? If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm just putting a little dab of Loctite on my work surface. That way I can just put the end of screws into that. And you really don't need a lot of Loctite. It's kind of nice and kind of annoying at the same time that LDO puts the grub screws in separate baggies to the pizzas that actually need them, because it means you're not going to lose them. in the bag that they come with, in the actual one of these, they don't pop out. And that means that they can also pre-thread lock them, but it gets really annoying having to chase them down. How many holes does this have? Just the one. They had non-resealable bags in my little kit 1 that broke, but I survived. Yeah, I had the same in my beta unit kit that we got. They're not fun to deal with, those. Alex, woo, how's the build going? Yeah, it's going good, it's going good. We have finished putting the belts on, and we're just putting Stealth Burner together now. Should mean that we're well on our way to finishing the actual mechanical build. Right, I need to be 15.6 millimeters away from center of teeth, from the center of the filament teeth, to that point there. Right, so I am way off currently. Still way off. Also, hey Alex. There we go. So, from the center of the filament teeth to the actual gear, it is 15.6 millimeters. Cool, I'm going to torque that down now. Right. Next step, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. So this end goes into here. And we need that end to go over the top of that. We need two M3 by 25s. Don't over tighten. Tighten until the plastic bends and cracks. Back up. 2 turns, discard part, reprint, and try again. Nice. Initial alignment check. Yep, that was good. Right. Let's just get that one started. Alex, it's amazing how far the extruders have gone since 3D printing herringbone cogs for the early ones. Yes, it is. It is indeed. I'm surprised by, back in the day, back when 3D printing was getting started, it was really popular to print your own extruder for a very, very long time. But I'm very surprised nowadays how the community has driven itself more to standard extruded parts, so like the VZ Hextrudort or the Galileo extruder or something like that. So Voron is actually kind of weird in that way, where they have a fully built extruder assembly that they make for their machines, where a lot of people have gone the route of just buying and integrating other people's extruders into their hot end designs. Insert a piece of filament of 1.75 filament into the extruder, check alignment, check for clearance. The drive shafts must not touch the motor housing. Make sure, right, that's definitely not going to touch the motor housing, even if it did move. Do I have a bit of filament anywhere? I do, in this box over here. That looks good to me. Probably a lot harder for you guys to see clear filament, but that looks pretty spot on to me. Sweet, let's continue. Right, it's time to start putting the assembly actually together. That piece goes onto there. And it's another M3 by 25. Alex, do you remember talking about the Voron last night? The Delta? Well, I am hopefully going to get one from Physec. Because Scope UK really put me on the path. Was it Scope? I think it was Scope. It was either Scope or you. I don't know. I have a fully assembled Galileo 2 extruder just lying around that waits to be put on a V2.4 for months. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm hoping that with the fact that it's a switchwire, and switchwires tend to be a lot easier to upgrade than the full Core XY machines. I'm hoping that I'll be more willing to actually do the upgrades. Because once you have a machine built, you really don't want to mess with it too much. From my experience with it all, you don't feel like messing with it too much, at least. Probably Scope on that one. Fair enough. Two different hobbies, making printers and 3D printing. Yes. Yes. I kind of fall in an awkward middle ground of those two, because obviously I do the dev stuff, which is making stuff with 3D printers, but I also like making 3D printers. If someone watched the Modbot stream the other day and wondered what two-finger tightening is, that's two-finger tightening, right? If you can't push anymore and you need to get it tighter, you go to three-finger tightening, and then you can get a bit more strength, and then you go to a full hand, right? I don't know why people found that so difficult to understand. Tension knob. Turning the knob clockwise will increase the tension and grip the filament. Too much tension will result in print issues. Anti-squish thingamajig. Softer and flexible materials will deform and extrude poorly under too much tension. Clockwork 2 adds an adjustment feature to set the minimum distance between the drive gear and the idler, limiting the squish on the filament, and to prevent the gears from meshing too tightly or binding up on the extruder. That's cool and all, but it doesn't explain how to actually works. Do you tighten it up if you need to limit the squish more? Do you loosen it up to limit the squish more? Who knows? And we need a NEMA 14 motor now. Right, so I'm going to need an M3 by 30. M3 by 25, don't need any more of those. M3 by 30. I have to call it. Was a busy day. Have fun with the build. See you the next time. Cheers, dude. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you coming to hang out. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Get some rest. Sweet. And I need an M3 by 8 with a washer. Now I didn't see any washers up until now, but doesn't mean they aren't there. Oh, sweet. There we go. So those are the washers. The M3 by 8 is already there. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Now, can my gorilla fists manage to do this without anything coming out? And he's done it! He's only gone and done it! Nice. Access hole. So I should be able to feel that and it move a full 360 without any issues. But there should be a little bit of resistance from the motor itself, which I can feel. That looks good. That feels good. Tighten one done. Tighten it now since I've managed to get it the first time. Sweet. Chain anchor. I need M3 by 20s. Gotta try and make sure that this stays flush with the outside of this part. So this face here, this face here, you need to try and keep it as flush as possible with this bit right here. And then an M3x8. Nice, and I think that's the top half of your stealth burner done. Oh no, there's an M3x16 somewhere. Open latch, undo the filament latch to expose the bolt pocket for the cable cover. Bolt pocket for the cable cover. Ah, cable cover, this bit. Cool. And he's an M3x16. 3x20. 3x30. M3x16. Nice. So we do have a Nighthawk, which is meant to fit underneath here. So this is a slightly larger one. And then we need an M3x6, but this is a button head. Don't over tighten. Access hole. Bolt drive can be accessed from the front of the extruder. Front of the extruder. Bolt drive. Cool. Right, I am convinced we can get this done today. I want to get at least all the mechanicals built today, like I said. So there's a bit of residue on this screw. Looks like I've already used it, but I've forgotten about it. Who knows? Anyways, back to this. Right. Yep, so that's top half done. And we officially start moving on to the extruder mount. So, this kit does come, all the Voron kits from LDO I think come with a Revo Voron. So I've printed off the mount for that. And available mounts. Missing Corner, we also provide tool carriage parts for Clockwork 1 and other extruders designed as an alternative to CW1. They are identical except for an opening for the highlighted corner to help with wire routing for those designs. Available mounts, we also provide mounts for other hot ends. They are assembled in a similar manner. Yeah, I do prefer when, back in the day when these guys, when LDO shipped with Rapidos. Not that I don't mind the Revo, but I prefer the Rapidos anyway, especially for a machine that is meant to be going quick. Doesn't matter too much on the Switchwire because Switchwire is a lot slower than the other Core XYs machines, but I would have preferred a Rapido, or for these to ship with the high flow variant. I just think they're a bit too flow restricted for the other style of Vorons. Sweet. Right, so that's that done. Do I need any more heat inserts? I don't think the other side takes any heat inserts, does it? No, it doesn't. Right. Which side are the cables going to route up? So turn the heater core this side. And then we'll put some screws in the top of this. M3 by 8 by the looks of it. Revo Voron. I'm assuming it's M3 by 8 because they do use a Revo Voron in the manual, so why wouldn't they? Why would it not be correct on this one? I know some hot ends are M2.5. Yeah. Yep, those work. Nice. And we need some more M3 by 16s, which are on this side. Right, so as far as the actual structural parts of Stealth going to go, I think that's everything. We do have the front cover to put on, but the front cover gets put on last, and I think it's just 4 bolts. So at this point we got to do the LEDs, don't we? Perfect. So wiring kit, cable kit. There we go. I'm also going to stick the ADXL mount on there and put the ADXL on because I might as well do it now so that I don't need to worry about it later. And then we can just wire it up alongside everything else. Oh, actually no, that doesn't make too much sense because we're going to have to take it off because it's a separate bed, because the bed moves on Switchwire. There's no point in putting it on now if we need to then input shaper, if we need to tune input shaper later on. Yeah, cool. So we're going to leave that for now and we're just going to do the LEDs. Cool. I'm going to run off for 2 or 3 minutes. I will be back in a second. Right, sorry about that. I just need to go check on something that was in the oven. I step away for 2 minutes, back to a black screen, spool back, Out for 2 minutes. Oh, God. Sorry, bud. Yeah, just need to go check on something in the oven. Right, so logo LED and the 2 tool head LEDs. Sweet. And then I also need the little diffuser piece. Right. I'm back now, Alex. I'm sorry. I apologize profusely for my need to make sure my house doesn't burn down. Obviously, I'm joking, by the way, bud. No problem, no problem. So you reckon you're going to be doing a benchy on it today? No, not a benchy today. Not a benchy today. I reckon I'm going to get done with all the mechanics, mechanical parts today. Probably, hopefully get to a point where I can do wiring next stream. Think about whether or not I'm going to do the actual clipper install on stream, and then we might do like a roundup. I'll probably actually do a roundup video, right? I'd like to start getting proper videos done now that the studio's in a place where the camera quality is decent, the mic's going to be upgraded soon, and I have the space to do proper videos. So I might start doing that, and we might start doing proper little project videos rather than just the streams. It might mean the streams happen less often. It might mean they even happen more often. Who knows? So the diffuser goes in that little piece there. Assume that gets done in a second. And then these bits slide into the front. Now it would be nice to know which ones slid into which side first. So that goes in like that. So left side goes in first. So yeah. The next one down from the logo insert goes in first on the left, is what I'm trying to say. Sweet. Just using a screwdriver with a blunt tip to press these into the little cable carriages. So yeah, if ever you're making one of these, it will go end, logo LED. The next one down is the one that comes to the left. And then the last one goes on the right hand side when it's in this orientation. Obviously that gets flipped around when it's the other way. And then you need to just hide away the wires. It feels like there's a little bit more to go. Oh, don't worry, there's plenty more to go. Plenty more to go. I am not finishing tonight without finishing the motion system. Is there an orientation to this? By the looks of it, that's it. Nice. What am I hitting? That piece goes in. That. There we go. And then all that can be put away somewhere. Cool. I know there's little tabs that you can cut off. LED wire routing, support structures. The highlighted parts are built in support structures. They are designed to break during the fan installation. Those are those ones. LED wiring, route the LEDs as shown. Wires exit on the other side. So I know there are little support bits in here that we can also cut apart. This is one thing that I'm trying to get better at, is wire cabling, wire routing and wire management, because I'm not very good at it at this point in time. You can tell I'm concentrating because I'm not speaking. There we go. Right. That's as good as that's going to be. And then we've got a fan to do. Hopefully LDO's already pre-dremeled the fan bits. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we're gonna have to do all this stuff. Okay, they want to do those fans first. So hot end fan first. Right, fan orientation. Rotate the fan so the wires exit the top of the air pushed. And the air is pushed inwards. Okay. There's a really seemingly good high performance Academy wiring for motorsports lecture series. It's a bit too expensive for me and pulls the trigger on, but there's some really good hints in there. Zip ties, heat shrinks, and if you're feeling real fancy, there's a label printer heat shrink, so you can label cables. Nice. On how to do looms. Nice, yeah. I'd like to have a look at it. Cool. And then the cables should come across here. Okay, I messed this up already because I've taken the cable out of here, out of the little guideway. I think since they've released the Nighthawk, this cable management's actually going to be a little bit better than it was on the Trident kit that I got. So, because all the cables are a lot smaller than I remember, a lot shorter. And I think that's because they all go into the Nighthawk dual head. So this is the bit I hate about. Right. This, you can make yourself your life a whole lot easier by getting this section of this build right. Otherwise, you have to get files out and file everything down, and it just becomes, oh, and I've broken that. Hopefully that doesn't matter too much. And I've broken it again. Oh my god. Oh, I tried to be careful. I've tried to be careful. Really did. And then I ended up cutting it off the wrong way. Shouldn't be too much of an issue though. Right, the fan still spins. And there's M3x6s. Yes. Have a look, Alex. Have a look at Superfast Matt on YouTube. He does some really crazy builds, some really crazy car stuff. He's made an off-road Dodge Viper. He's made the world's smallest displacement dragster. All loads of cool projects, but one of them is how he does wiring looms. So have a look at that. It's a really good resource, and he's just an all-round funny guy. He's got that kind of very dry humor, almost German, but as an American. Sweet. Right, that's all been done. So that means, right, we'll put these to the side. We'll finish work on. We'll finish work on the keyback installation, and then we'll install stuff burner. Right, so keyback next. Now, I did perform a little bit of this yesterday, so it is quite a straightforward installation. I did a little practice. We'll give Superfast Mass a look. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's someone who hates the seriousness around kind of the motorsports industry. So he just wants to do really stupid things. He has done a couple things with 3D printers. I think he made a Zen garden robot out of an old TiVo tarantula. Or is it a TiVo tornado? Whatever they are. Is TiVo even still around? The 3D printer company, not the American cable company, or whatever they are. So, this is very much keyback specific. But there's a little clip on the back, and that has to be lifted up and slid into this section here at the back, and now that's secured, that's not going anywhere, and then it needs to be attached to the base just here. And the reason we have this is because can you see that even without the tool head on now, this barely wants to stay in place? Well, I say barely. But the detent torque is just enough to hold in place for now, but if I put any more weight on it, even the slightest amount, it starts to drop. And you can imagine having a big extruder assembly on top of it. It's just going to make it crash down into your bed. You really don't want that. So that's why they have the keyback system. It comes up, wraps over. So as the Z is changing, if you do lose power for whatever reason, it's not going to go crashing down into your bed frame. Yeah. Right. So I need I need an M5 by 10 and a Tina as well. I still find it amazing that they still use a key lanyard to bias the height on that. Yeah. I think it was back in the day before we had, because I know you can get Z braking PCBs for it now, so it runs a small amount of current back into the motor, even if the power's off. I know that's an option nowadays, but you gotta realize that this was before that was an option. I think it's the same thing with like the MPCNC. I get really annoyed that the MPCNC still uses metal pipe, effectively metal conduit, as their linear rails when we have access to proper linear rails. So I can get where the frustration comes from it, really, but I don't think it's as big a deal on this. Alex, are you waiting on any orders as well? I think you are, aren't you? Or have you received them all? I'll try and not headbutt the camera again. All up to date, sweet. Only reason I asked is I thought I saw your name on the system earlier this week. You can't see it at that angle. Do this angle, shall we? I need to figure out how to wire up a moving camera, like, because I still got my face cam from the old setup, but I don't use it as face cam because I got this lovely setup now. So I can now use that camera, but it's just awkward to hold and show around. I need like a gorilla mount or something for it. Now here's a weird thing. This piece here is included in the STL package. I know what it's for, but they don't have it in the manual. Right? It doesn't exist. It goes between those two bearings in the actual assembly, and it's to guide the string, but it's nowhere in the actual Switchwire assembly manual. I don't know why. Missing a piece. I had it earlier, but it seems to have gone walkabout. Let me move this up. Oh, there it is. Found it. I haven't found any difference between the DLCs and the other ones so far. The DLCs and the LDO ones. I think the LDO ones are still DLC coated. It's just the way it works with LDO, with consumable objects like that, is it's always going to be more expensive for them to do it, right? Because they're buying from an OEM, right? Then LDO needs to make a profit by selling on to resellers, and then the resellers have to make a profit on top of that. So you're adding an extra step where cost needs to be put. The way we're doing it is we're going from the OEM to us, and then we're making the profit off the OEM, off of what we buy it off of the OEM for. We're also going to be spreading that along the chain, so there's a few other stores in the US and all that stuff who are going to have the same thing. So what we're doing on our end is, once we get my Milo set up and Dave's Milo set up, we're going to start releasing some recipes for those end mills right? So anyone will be able to use the recipes that we have on the versions of Milo that we have, right? And you'll get those recipes alongside buying the end mills, right? So there's an extra little bit of value there for you guys, and it becomes cheaper. Because the LDO ones currently are as expensive as buying decent brands yourself, and that's just because of the way they have to approach that side of things. Right, I need an M5x15, T-nut, and an M5 shim. T-nut, shim, and an M5x15. Please keep them without the Hearts of Iron mod. Please keep them without the Hearts of Iron mod. I think it's still a while off for me doing that. What do you mean? Please keep them without the Hearts of Iron mod. I don't get what you mean there. So we're going to be validating recipes for end mills, not for projects. So we're going to have like a baseline feed and speed that you should be able to hit with a baseline Milo. And obviously you're then open to interpretation. You can increase the feed if you wanted to. If your machine could take it. Benchmark the speeds and feeds of the end mills on stock Milo. Yes, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be on the stock Milo. I do have a Hearts of Iron mod ready to go on my Milo, but I'm not going to be using it right now. Not until I can validate some other recipes. It's also a really easy mod to do. It's 4 screws and I can take it off. So even if I did install it, I'd still be able to get away with changing it out for the stock variant every now and again. It'd be annoying because I'd have to retram all the time, but if I needed to, I could. That's what you meant. Cool. Right, I need 2 M3x12s. M3x16s. M3x12s. You gotta be careful about this, doing this part, because these do have quite a bit of fling back on them. So if you let go of them for whatever reason, they can very well damage your eyes or any of the equipment that you have around them. And I've got a monitor just over here, so I've got to be extremely careful with this. So much so that what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to install this like this, so there's not as much tension on it. And then I'll flick the tension part over the top later. There we go. So that we now have a counterweight system. Lovely stuff. Lovely, 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 lovely. Cool. So now we can get the 1, 2, 3 blocks back out, tilt this on the side, and we can get the stealth burner installed. I believe this piece slips into here. And then we can tighten that up. So, gotta go back to the stealth burner. We need an M3x8 on that side. Is there another one anywhere else? Yep, so 2 M3x8s. Right, so that's the actual extruder mechanism mounted now. We've pre-done the inductive probe, so the probe should be set. I'm going to open up that because it looks like I'm squeezing a cable right now. I'm going to open up the cable cover. There we go. Cool. So I'll leave that open for now. And now the actual hot end part comes on. Now there is a point where I need to... I skipped this, didn't I? PTFE. I need 11 millimeters of PTFE. Now there's 2 sets of PTFE. I don't think it's this stuff, because this stuff is the stuff that you normally use for the reverse Voron. But they should have a bit of Capricorn tube somewhere that's a lot better constrained. The cable kit, is it? Can't find it. Not there, not there. Yeah, there's normally a piece of Capricorn tube because it's way better constrained than the cheap stuff over there. The cheap stuff is only really for the reverse Voron system. There we go. Found it. It's on my desk. Just seen you are selling precision collets now on DMS. Yes, we are selling AA rated collets. They have been tested not on Milo. They have been tested on a proper industrial robot. Dave got them tested at work. They are AA rated. Not the best collets you can get in the world. Those would obviously be AAA rated ones, but damn, they're good for what they are. They're more than good enough for Milo. Yes, I did use side cutters for these. If you end up with something like this where it's pinched on one end, genuinely, and I'm not trying to be weird about this, just stick it in your teeth, bite it the other direction, and that cavity should open up again. You can also just use some pliers if you want, but biting is faster and easier for me. Ah, I did that wrong. It should stick out 11 millimeters. That's annoying. Not that it should be 11 meters, it should stick out 11 millimeters. Now you will see my name waiting for orders. Yes. Oh, what's with the sad face? When cutting PTFE, Capricorn, use a razor blade, Stanley knife. I don't have a razor blade and or Stanley knife. I understand that it's probably the best way to do it, but I don't have one. I could probably do this a lot faster. Yes, it's definitely the better way to do it. It's going to give you a better cut. It's going to give you a much cleaner surface to work with, but it's not something that I find necessary. And that piece is going to wear. That end is going to wear out anyway, as the printer does its thing and prints. So I don't find it that necessary. Government came and government took all your knives. I remember on the old E3G hot ends, PTFE inner needed to be cut real square to stop it from having misfeeds. I spent way too many hours debugging that one. Oh god. Yeah, what was it called? It was called the Light 6. So they had the V6 hot end, and then this was back in the day where everything was poorly manufactured on the 3D printing side. So they had the V6, which was their all metal hot end, and that was like the height of technology back in the day. And then E3 came out with the Light 6, which was their version of a PTFE lined hot end, which didn't sell very well, and it was almost as expensive as a full normal V6, so there was no point in buying one. You could have just bought a V6. And a V6 was like 90 quid back in the day. It was expensive. And then M3 by 50. Alright, M3 by 50 is the one size we haven't used so far. Yeah, I remember having so many. I bought the Light 6 because I thought, oh, it was back when I was at university and everything needed to be the cheapest thing it could be. But I also wanted I wanted a decent hot end for my CR10. So I bought a Light 6 and it worked. It wasn't awful. It was back before fast 3D printing was ever a thing on people's minds. I've had this issue before, and it keeps happening, where it's not quite aligned with the heat inserts on the bottom, so it just levers the whole thing upwards. There we go. Nope. This is one thing I don't like about the Stealth Burner. This needs to be aligned properly, and it's a bit of a bitch to do so. It really pains me when I look back at the time wasted to try to save those few pounds, and it didn't have. Those two bottom screws are a nightmare. Yes, they are a complete nightmare. I agree with you. I hate them. They never line up properly. I'm going to bias them a little bit to one side, see if that helps a bit. think I got this side. Nope. I hate these bottom two screws. Thought about putting a small screwdriver in one and then driving the screw into the other. Good plan. Good idea. Oh, that worked like a charm. Thank you. That worked absolutely perfectly. Alex, you're a genius. Now, the other side still might be an issue. Oh no, wait, never mind. Never mind, that didn't work. Felt like it was working, but it didn't. Right, there it is. Because I tightened the two. Hey, Unexpected Maker. How you doing, bud? It's Sion, isn't it? Glad you can come join us for a stream. Obviously, not as exciting as the stuff that you guys get up to. But we live. We have fun. Yep, silly name. Oh, it's a cool name. I like Sion. It's like, I put Sion up there with names like Killian. How's my shoulder? It hurts. I've got full range of motion, but it clicks every time I try and do that. There's a lot of paracetamol going through my system right now, put it like that. But I'm surviving. Thriving, not so much. But yeah, ended up being in A&E for 2.5 hours. Had some x-rays. I saw that my shoulder wasn't sitting correctly in its spot. It wasn't dislocated, but it was like a partial dislocation, like not totally dislocated. So they got me to lie down on a bench with my chest up against the bench, holding onto something heavy whilst they massaged it. And then that kind of brought it back into position as the muscle relaxed. Lots of physio ahead. Hope it gets back to normal quickly. Yeah, yes and no. They've given me a couple of exercises. They're nothing big. But they said it shouldn't affect me too badly going forward. Just not to put too much weight on it or too much strain on it for the next few weeks. Other than that, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It do be, as indubitably, it do be. Cool. So that's that on, and my earphones have just told me that they're running out of charge. Did you get your hand caught in the cookie jar at work. Yes, yes. It wasn't the cookie jar. For me, it's biltong. I'm not a big sweet person fan, but I do make a lot of biltong. If you don't know what biltong is, it's probably because you're not South African, and I grew up around South Africans. Ooh, where'd the music go? Why is the music gone? There we go. I grew up around South Africans, and biltong is like a dried meat, kind of like jerky, but don't ever say that to a South African because they will murder you. I love biltong, prefer it wet, not dry, but yummy. Yeah, I agree with you. Biltong, I prefer a little bit moist. Drovos, I prefer as dry as you can get it. Drovos is just like a dried sausage. It's great. It's lovely. Perfect. So that is stealth burner on. The wiring side of things, I think I'm going to leave until tomorrow. Okay, this is weird. Right. Yes, yes, cool. Yeah, so I'll do all the wiring bits tomorrow, so long as we can get the motion system in today. Okay, so it says follow all the stealth burner instructions. But then the manual skips ahead and misses the installation of all the cable chains. Am I seeing that right? Yeah. Oh no, it's later on. Yeah. Cable chains I can do next time, because I'll do those alongside the wiring. But I want to get the bed on today. I want to at least finish the bed today. So we'll skip ahead a bit. Cool. So I need 6 by 6 by 6 by 3mm spacers. And the bed. Now, this is a Prusa Mark III style bed. And there's a whole lot of stuff I need to do before I can actually get the bed on itself. Now, this is a lot thinner than all the other Vorons are, but it's a PCB style bed, so the PCB, the fact that it's PCB should mean that there's less thermal expansion that we have to deal with, and it doesn't bend as much. I need to do a couple things before anything else, though. You need to actually install the thermistor on here. And there's bits of foil tape here to do that with, and a bit of Kapton tape. So why don't we move this off for now whilst I do that. Does it have instructions anywhere for where the thermistor needs to go? Nope, of course it doesn't. Who's messaging me on Discord? Sweet. Oh, Unexpected, did you... Sion, sorry, why do I keep calling you Unexpected? Sion, did you have any questions about the casa? Looks like you had some stuff about casa from the Discord that you want to ask. Cool. It looks like there's a little like circle point, and that seems to fit perfectly with where a hot end, a thingy should sit, a thermistor. So I'm going to assume that that's the correct position for that. It's relatively close enough to the center of the bed as well. Should give some decent readings. Yeah, I can't find the new CAD, only new STLs in the repo. The new CAD should be in there. It was approved by Xscale the other day. Let me have a look in a second. Oh yeah, they haven't been updated. Pull requests. Lead CAD. Update casa CAD. Huh? Improved. Checking for ability. Squash and merge. Confirm squash and merge. Right. Have a look now, Sion. Have a look now, see if that should have updated at all. Sure, no hurry, I want to get on with lighting. Just want to get on with lighting. Yeah, have a look now. That should all be updated. Wicked, thanks. No worries, dude. Feel free to stop by any time to pester me. I like it when people come and pester me. Right. Reason I'm doing it this way and routing it this way is because this is where the actual power for the bed comes through the floor. So getting as close as there means I can route the cables in the same way for both the power in and the thermistor wire. Right, so I need M3 by 12. Full head car. The countersunk screws. They're countersunk screws. Why do we need to call them something that they're not? See on, they should all be oriented the right way as well. They do look weird. Some of the new lighting parts do look weird, and like they shouldn't print in that orientation, but trust me, they do. Otherwise, there's a whole lot of floating stuff that happens. And also for the diffuser, that should be in either something clear, a white PETG. I've also used white ABS for it and been absolutely fine. But any other color and you just won't get any lights. And it's a single walled part, so you can get away with ABS or any other opaque white filament. Just don't use PLA, because PLA might just end up with you melting it. I absolutely hate these kind of standoffs, so this is going to be a bit painful to watch, perhaps. The center one's going to be a bitch, isn't it? Is there any easy way to do it? Doesn't look like there's going to be an easy way to do this. Oh, okay. Right. I've been really good with the build so far. I am going to take one shortcut, and I'm not gonna. Should I? Oh no. Okay, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I feel that I must. We'll start from the beginning, but we'll do the middle one first. Thanks for that info. I have clear filament, but it's PLA. So I might need to butt some PETG, buy some PETG, probably is what you're trying to say. Yep. PETG is the best because it's translucent. The actual material itself is translucent slightly. So you'll let more light pass. White ABS is what I have used, like I said, simply because I like printing ABS more than I like printing PETG. I think PETG comes out too globby. Sorry, typing on an iPad. No worries, my dude. No worries at all. Yeah, so that one in first, and then I can do all the ones around it. Rather than trying to fight to get under the center one first. Alright, I'm going to finish off after this because most of the people who watch in the UK will be asleep as it's nearly midnight over here. So I'd rather have people actually here to chat with. Not that I don't like having you around, Sion. Yeah, the reason I changed my mind for having the centerpiece screwed in or not is because there might be some kind of uneven expansion that happens on the plate itself, and I'd rather. There's probably a reason why they have that centerpiece is because it controls that expansion a little bit better. Not as good as like a kinematic mount. I just realized you guys can't see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna put you on that view for a bit. Hey, Scale, you're up late, dude. Yeah, I just came back from a quick night out. A quick night out? Oh, have you been doing naughty things, Xscale? You have, haven't you? Have you figured out your travel arrangements for Smurf yet? Because it's nearly halfway through. Oh, it's over halfway through the year, I think. Over? No, not quite yet. Nearly halfway through the year, and we're going to have to start thinking about stuff for Smurf at some stage. You gonna come over for like the 2 days again, or you can actually stay for a little bit? Because I think the plan with the others was to get a house somewhere, like a B&B. But I'm not too sure what the plan was. If that's still the plan, sorry. Cool. Well, unfortunately at scale, we are going to be shutting up shop in a quick moment, as we have done everything that we wanted to do. I'm going to tighten up the belts a little bit. There we go, that side's tight. Nice. Thanks for the stream. I also have to get going. No worries, dude. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. I will see you another time. Sweet. So, belts tensioned, self burners in, the Y plate is in. I haven't wired it up yet. I'm going to do all the wiring tomorrow, including the cable chains and things like that, and then the electronics box, and then everything else. We're gonna do the clipper installation probably off stream, because it would be painful to watch me try and fumble around with that kind of stuff. And then we'll do a final kind of setup. So we'll do a final stream, just to, like a print and chill stream, just to see what the printer's doing. Thank you all for coming. I do appreciate every single one of you showing up to these streams. They really do help me keep on track with projects and things like that. So thanks for that. If you are interested in getting yourself any of these kits, there's a link down in the description below to the Desktop Machine Shop store. You can buy Voron 2.4s, Switchwires, V0.2, positrons, and Milo V1.5 kits. They're all in stock. The V1.5 kits, there's still 10 on pre-order that you can get. They should be arriving in about a month's time. You can also buy VFDs, all the extra accessories down at the shop. Go have yourselves a look. We do appreciate it when people do. We also have some end mills on sale at the moment. Again, thank you for coming. We'll be finishing this up probably another stream tomorrow, if it doesn't coincide with anyone else's streams. So I'll see you then. Have a good evening.